Hey everybody, it's Mike here from the WeWrench shop. I just want to give you a quick intro to episode 3 where we continue on taking the front clip of the car off. I also wanted to give you a quick teaser of what's to come on the M5. Now you will not see this in episode 3, but we are building up to it. So I just wanted to whet your palate a little bit and let you know what's going on. This is the way the car looks as of today. So stay tuned and you're going to see the progress on this amazing project. All right, folks, we're continuing on the front clip here. The next step is to remove this painted piece. It starts here, it goes all the way through here and holds the kidney grills. The headlights and this plastic piece here are not a part of this. So when you take a look at this front clip assembly, you'll notice that there's really no visible fasteners anywhere. And there are certainly none on the top. But if you look underneath, a better shot on this side, if you look underneath, there are these tabs. So what we have to do is we have to get under here with a flathead screwdriver or a hook tool. We undo these tabs and the piece will pop right out. Next thing we're looking to take off are the headlights and this plastic piece. I see a couple plastic Phillips head screws here. These look like they're for the headlights. So I see screw, 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 and zip tie. Look at that. These look like these are similar to the push pins that were on the hood liner with a Phillips head screw. See? And we don't take the screw out, just like I told you. You leave it in with about a thread. And then I see a Phillips head right there. All right, the next step is to get these headlights out of here. We have one of these covers on both sides, and they have those same type of screw clips. They're totally missing on this side. So what you have to do is you have to pull this out of here. And there's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 Phillips heads in the front. And then there's 2 very elusive Phillipses back here, down in there. They're very difficult to see because this camera doesn't really focus on that too well. 1, 2, 3 up front. I'm using a 1/4" drive ratchet with a Phillips head socket on it like this. And this extension will help me get the one that's deeper in. Yeah, there's a 3rd Phillips. I forgot to mention that one. There's a 3rd Phillips really high. I'm having a lot of issues accessing those Phillips head screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this air box here. We're going to unplug the mass airflow sensor. We have hose clamps here and here, flathead drive, and then I got a ratcheting 10mm wrench to undo one nut right here. By the way, if you have an M5 that's having drivability problems, take this boot off and look at it because they have a tendency of breaking at the joints. Since I've had this car, I've owned this car since 2004, and this is like the 3rd boot that I've had to do. I got this boot 2 years ago. So definitely worth looking at. Causes a vacuum leak, causes false air to enter ahead of the mass airflow sensor. I forgot there's another 10mm right here. rusty, man. Okay. You also have to unplug the intake air temperature sensor, which is right, once you get a good look at it, right here. All right, with that off now, I have a really clear shot. So I was mistaken, there are actually 3 Phillips head screws. There's one up top by the headlight adjuster, way up top. I mean, you gotta really get in there to do it. And there's one in the middle, and then there's one on the bottom. And before you pop the headlights out, you gotta go in there and detach the plugs for the high beam and low beam. Okay. All the screws are out. Headlights are unplugged. You should be able to pop them right out. And this next piece is just plastic. It's broken on this side. It just sort of clips in on the top, but on the bottom, what you gotta do is you have to undo the top and go in and release it like this. And it comes out pretty clean. And to get the side markers out, there's another Phillips head straight in, and it's really easy to access with the headlights out. There's the Phillips, and then we can undo the bulb holder like so. And here's a really, really nice recording of the car with most of the components of the front clip taken off. All right, continuing on the front clip, I'm just going to take a look at it and see what's attached and go piece by piece. All right, the next thing that I see, I mean, I got this, this is like a cooling duct for the oil cooler. Doesn't look like it's held on there substantially. It is wrapped around these AC lines though, so I think we'll come back to that. This piece, metal. Looks like I got a Phillips head here and a Phillips head here. So let's undo it. We have some of these styrofoam pieces. There was one here, and there was also one here. These are for airflow. It looks like they just kind of sit in there. This plastic piece here doesn't look like it's actually fastened to anything. Let's see, you gotta be really careful with this stuff. It's brittle, and the harnesses too. If you mishandle one of these harnesses, they can absolutely break. Been there, done that. When I take stuff apart, I like to just stand back and look around. Get junk like that out of there. This is the evap catch can, the charcoal canister. Here's our power steering reservoir. Supply. This is the return line from the self-leveling suspension system, I believe. Supply and return lines. Actually, the steering lines look pretty good. They're dry. There's some little weeping right there. I like to just look around. I like to see the harnesses. I like to see if there's any kind of deterioration. I figured out the trick to this oil cooler duct. If you press down on it, you can actually clear the AC lines. And you can just pop it out. There is wiring here for the electric fan. You got to be careful. There you go. Nice. So again, looking at this piece, I guess you want to call it a core support. I got bolts here and here. There's another bolt up here. Same thing on the other side. I have to undo the power steering lines. This is the power steering cooler. Power steering supply and return have to come off. I also have to crack loose the AC high side and low side and get it out of here to get this piece off. So that's what we're going to work on. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a gentle heat to those fittings.